and go. Let's see. What am I doing here? What's your name again? Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your hosts, Travis Holmes and Shayne McManus.
Shayne.
Travis.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm not good. Not good at all.
You're not good.
No, I'm not.
Why?
Shayne, you said something to me a while ago, a couple of weeks back, and since you've said it, I mean, you probably don't even remember that you said it, but you've scared me to death.
Did I hurt your? Oh, okay. I was going to say, did I hurt your feelings?
No,
Did I scare you?
my feelings are this big. It's hard to penetrate this stone wall in front of me. But you said something, and I was just like going, "Oh, he said that," and I'm like, maybe he knows something that I don't know.
Well, what is it?
Well, I've got the studio up here on the second floor, and you on the second floor as well. I ran downstairs to grab beer or something and came back up, and I was like, and you were like going, "You all right?" And I was like going, "Yeah, let me catch my breath." And you're like, "Oh, you need to get your ticker looked at." And I'm like going, and that was it. That was all you said. You need to get your heart or get your ticker checked out. And so for the last 4 weeks, I'm like, is my arm numb? My arm's getting numb. This is it. This is it, Elizabeth. This is the big one. This is the big one. And I've been literally, like, if I go walking around the property here and I stop for a minute, I'm like, and I found out, and I'm like freaking out, like, this is it. I'm having a heart attack. And I found out I don't know how to breathe correctly.
Well, I think you're 50 years old now, right?
Right.
Oh, you don't know how to breathe correctly. Okay.
Well, it's mostly I'm not paying attention. I have, like millions of Americans out there, have anxiety. And I realize that I get myself worked up into a panic just doing normal, mundane things around the house. Like I cannot sit there. I cannot sit there and sit there and have breakfast if there's a dish in the sink. I've got to get up, HDAD, whatever it's called, and wipe it, put it down, and then sit back down. I'm like, I forget to breathe. And like now, like I'm talking to you, and I'm saying all this stuff. You'll hear me go, I have to breathe in, take a breath, and slow down. And
so you're holding your breath while you're doing whatever because you're anxious about something.
Yes, exactly. So, but all week long, like I'll be like, my hand is, honey, is my hand okay? Honey, my arm. But you said that, man, and I literally was like, and then we went on about our conversation. You're just hop, skipping, and jumping away from me, and I'm sitting there with this little seed that you planted in my head that because I can't breathe right, I need to get my heart checked and my arms not working right. Ignore the fact that I walk around on this 27-acre property with a weed eater and a backpack sprayer and all this other stuff that I got going on. Of course, yes, my left arm would be somewhat, and my right arm would be somewhat in pain as well.
So you know what you need?
What's that?
I'll tell you what you need. And the same thing happens to me, but the reason is, I get out of breath like that because I'm fat. So I know what my problem is, but you need to get an Apple Watch.
Apple, I'm not
Fitbit.
A Fitbit?
You don't have to be a Fitbit or something.
I'm not a watch guy. I've never really been a watch guy. And plus the banding, if I'm out there in the yard, that banding's going to smell. It's going to smell like dead oysters or something.
No, see, that's why you need to get an Apple Watch because they have antibacterial or antimicrobial bands.
No, they don't.
But yeah, you need to get yourself some sort of Fitbit smartwatch or something like that because it can actually tell you if you're having a heart attack, and it'll call the doctor for you.
I heard someone laughing downstairs.
Yeah, I guess I think that's funny.
Do you have a Fitbit watch or something like that?
I've got an Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch. I have a bunch of different things, but I'm gonna tell you something else I've got.
Oh God, here we go. What do you got?
This is new technology here. We're testing it. We're a test bed. Look at this thing.
What is it?
It's a Wave 2.
It looks like a Oreo cookie strapped to a piece of leather.
Well, it's not, because if it was, I would have eaten it already.
Fat ass.
Yeah. So what? You'll never guess what this thing is supposed to do. Now, I haven't tried it out. My wife has.
Hold on, hold it up again. Let me look at it. Get a good, clear picture of it for those people on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice black polished stone on a wristwatch. What is it?
Yep. No face on it or anything.
Yeah.
No display at all. There's some buttons on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what this thing is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You strap it to your wrist, and there's an app that goes with it. And you're supposed to put it on like the underside of your wrist.
So the suicidal thought side of my wrist.
Yeah. Well, that's why that big fat area is there, so you can't cut through it.
All right.
But this thing is supposed to keep you either hot or cold at night while you're sleeping.
Now, does it do it electronically? Like those 10 things, the electrode things that I was sticking on my back? Does it work like that, or how does it work?
I don't know what the technology is, but here is a little pad that's on the back of it, and this pad will heat up or cool down. And where you place it on your wrist is supposed to send signals to your brain through that will cause your body to heat up if you're cold or cool down if you're hot.
Now, Shane, when we were kids and we used to have those slumber sleepover parties, right? And the one kid that fell asleep first, you always stuck his hand in a bowl of water. Why?
No, the one kid that fell asleep first got his balls painted black.
You were going to different slumber parties than I was. But you always had the whole thing where if someone put their hand in a bowl of water, they would wet the bed, right? Oh, wet the bed. That's what I see. Whatever that watch thing is, you have it on cold and you have it on hot. You're either going to shit the bed or piss the bed, depending on what temperature you got it set on.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't think that's the original intention of the watch, but okay. But it's supposed to cool you up or heat you down. Listen, it's supposed to heat you up or cool you down
or chill you out.
Yeah, so throughout the night. So it adjusts itself. So if it detects your body temperature is getting too hot, it will kick on the cooling feature and then vice versa. But I don't know how in the world that's going to do that.
I would think, for example, if you put it on, the wrist, the bottom of your wrist, the blood on it would turn your wrist cold, and the blood flowing through your wrist would turn cold as well, cooling your body, and vice versa. I would imagine, or no, because if it was sending signals to your brain, why wouldn't you put something closer to your brain instead of being all the way out on the end of your arm? It's 3 foot away from your brain.
Well, yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, I can
put it on. Let's see it.
You want me to model it for you?
Yeah. Well, I want you to. You don't have the app?
I don't have the app. Like I said, my wife's been using it, so I'll have to get her feedback. But I just thought, there's no way. This has got to be some sort of scam or, some way to separate suckers from their money. But.
And it doesn't tell time. There's no digital display at all on the thing.
There's nothing on it. So it goes on the bottom. Now, I can understand how it might get some electronics excited in there and do some funky stuff to heat it up.
Right.
But how does it cool you down?
So who makes that thing?
I have no idea. It's a Wave 2.
China.
It's called.
It's stealing your information.
Yeah. Well, it's sucking your blood from you, too. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Oh, yeah, that writing's way too small, and I'm not even going to try.
Put your old man glasses on.
I'm blind, too.
My wife watches, speaking of new gadgets and stuff, my wife watches all her smut shows, like Bachelor and Love Island and all that brainless relationship stuff, stuff that the exciting stuff that she doesn't get here at the house. We're kind of boring. I love you too. 9 years together now. And so she likes to watch.
Yeah, you ought to try 30.
She likes to watch people fight and, oh my God, I don't know if he likes me. And I don't know if she likes me, and all that stuff. But we have a Fire Stick, the Amazon Prime Fire Stick. Are you familiar with those?
I am. I've got one on my TV downstairs. I have Amazon crap all over the house. So
we bought this probably 10 years ago, and my wife is convinced that it's out of date. You can't update it anymore. She's like, I'm just going to buy another one. All right. I don't know if it works.
Right.
Is she right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's the problem. So she did. So she's right. Don't let her listen to the show. But she actually did some research and bought is it Roku?
Roku.
Okay, so she bought it, and the device, the main thing, it's not like a stick, like a USB drive, like the Fire Stick is. It's a little bit bigger. It's about as big as a cell phone, and it does connect by USB to the TV. And then in her hand, she's got the remote. So I'm going to display this for everyone watching YouTube. So here's the remote for the Roku, and she can click, 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 up, down with the remote. Here's something that is totally genius for people that watch TV. And I wonder why it took so long for Roku to do this. And someone out there might do it, but this is the first time I've seen it. On the side of the remote control, not this one. This is just for display only. on the side of the remote control is an outlet for headsets, like your little earbuds, like that's got the wire earbuds, and she can plug it into the remote and listen to the TV without any interference. She puts the remote in her pocket, and she can walk around the house and listen to the thing at the same time. Now, granted, I know some sound bars have like the Bluetooth device and everything on it, but I didn't realize it. And she's like going, yeah, this is so cool. I'm like, well, how far can you go? So you've been here. So from the living room out to the driveway and back, and she can still hear the signal. So it's kind of like a Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's a wire. I mean, the Bluetooth part's still in the remote.
Right.
So is it like a 3.5 millimeter jack on the remote, or is it a USB or what?
Yeah. It's you just plug it in just like a normal headphone jack, and she keeps it with her and sticks it in her pocket. And yeah, I just thought that was genius. I don't know why. I just thought it was genius.
It's because you're stuck at your house and you don't get out very much.
And
but it's still, yeah.
I don't have an AC watch.
Yeah, it's still kind of old technology because most of nowadays everything is Bluetooth. So it's kind of weird that they would have it to plug in with a jack like that. But I would rather have it that way.
Oh yeah, and I've tried many times. Actually, I take this back. The sound bars only receive Bluetooth. They do not distribute Bluetooth. So, for example, I can broadcast. I can do music to my sound bar on the TV, but I cannot have a Bluetooth headphones to listen to the sound bar on the opposite way. It's a one-way track and not coming back this way. So I thought the thing with the remote control, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, I've got an Alexa. Well, we've got,
oops, there you go.
Listen.
I'm sorry.
Back here. This is like a.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She's right here. If you can see my little finger.
I see her.
So this dude, she's got some serious bass. It's for like surround sound for your TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I can hook my phone to it via Bluetooth and play music from it and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't go very far. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's not wired.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't go as far. So
I just thought that was genius.
I would have to I like that idea. But I would have to connect multiple Alexas together.
All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back.
I'm Shane from This Is 50 podcast. You know what my two favorite things in the world are? Coffee and murder. We can put the two together with a new true crime podcast that delves into some of the most notorious and intriguing criminal cases. I ran across this podcast the other day. The host is Matt Cochran. He's a disabled Army vet, and he goes in depth details and conducts exclusive interviews with experts. You can check him out at murderandcoffee.com. Again, that's murderandcoffee.com.
Shane, how long have you lived in the house that you're at right now?
15 years.
15 years? Is that the only house? I mean, outside of the house that you grew up in, how many houses have you physically lived in?
Oh, a bunch. I was in the military, so we moved around.
Oh, God,
but
really?
This is actually, this is our first house that we bought.
Uh-huh.
So it's, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the hens downstairs.
It's okay.
Yeah, this is our first house that we actually bought. Other houses have been rental houses, but
what are you clicking?
We've been here the longest.
What's the clicking in the background? Are you messing with something?
I'm getting no, Dad.
Okay. Are you fidgeting with something? Because all I hear is clicking.
No.
All right. So what about your military family house and the hens?
I can just hear the chicks downstairs, so I'm telling them to shh. You hear them?
Yeah. Fuck you. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
Golly, that is jacking up my podcast here.
All right, so
I want to hear something really funny. Let me go down there and scold them.
So this is the first house you've ever lived in, or is this the first house you've ever owned?
Yes, this is the first house we have ever owned.
And what's your driveway situation? I mean, you got a driveway,
it's
right?
out there.
Yeah, like a concrete driveway.
Yeah.
My whole. What do you mean? Some driveway.
Cracked.
Yes, it's what?
It's cracked.
Why is it cracked?
It's trashed. I don't know. It's bad.
Some driveways they make, and you know a big family home, and the driveway is only for like a single row of cars. My whole entire life, and I was out mowing my lawn the other day, and I'm looking at my driveway, and we've got a tree that's kind of pushed up part of the driveway here on the house that we have now. And I was thinking about, I'm like, God damn it, this driveway looks like shit. Now it's not pushed up like 3 feet in the air, but 2 inches. If you're not careful, you could trip over the little jut that's coming out. And I was thinking about my whole entire life, the house I grew up in, the first house I bought, the house that my wife and I were living in before we moved up here, and then this house here. Every single driveway's been cracked, and I'm like going, God, I feel so poor. Yeah. I think a cracked driveway is a sign of being poor. Because
having a concrete driveway is not a sign of being poor. I mean,
but I mean
poor people have dirt driveways.
Maybe my values are a little bit different, but every driveway that I've had, it's cracked. I'm like, can I just buy a house with a nice, perfect driveway? And what started this is I wanted to, you asked me to put up a basketball goal, and I go, I can't. And the reason why I can't is because my driveway sits at an angle because I've got fucking trees and shit and pushing up my concrete. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so fucking ghetto. I'm so trashy. Because I look at it as trash. That's just me.
Concrete's gonna crack.
I understand concrete's
gonna crack.
I understand concrete's going to crack. And there's certain give, all right, there's a nice little crack here, but at least it's not jutting up 2 inches to where your dad or your father-in-law or whatever can trip over it and fall on his face. And I just look, it just one of the little things here on the property that when I go outside, I can't breathe, and I'm looking at it.
I get it. Well, I'll tell you what, when I go up the road a couple times a week, and there's this homeless guy, Billy. We'll ask him about his driveway and see if he feels the same way.
Billy's driveway.
My entire driveway is cracked. It's made of asphalt.
Billy's driveway is anywhere where he lays his head.
Yeah, that's weird. You got to get rid of that.
But I'm serious. I think about like all the different houses that I had. Every single driveway has been cracked. And when I say cracked, pushed up by a tree. In Florida, the rain and stuff has washed out the foundation, and the driveway literally just went, sunk down.
So you're screwed pretty much. The concrete driveway is going to crack, and then a dirt or gravel driveway makes you look poor. So what are you?
Well,
you're pretty much out of options.
The front part of the property, we had that big gravel driveway, which I've never had a gravel driveway in my life until I moved to North Carolina. But the whole driveway up to the house is, what is that? Kentucky 57 or whatever, gravel, blue chip marble driveway. I don't know. And then you get I don't know. I get them all confused, man. But I was out mowing my lawn. This is what happened. I was out mowing my lawn, and I looking at the driveway. And the reason why I was looking at the driveway, because, driving on the zero turn, and I come out, I'm like, I'm out of beer. Come up the driveway, and I hit that fucking same bump every time. Go to the refrigerator in the garage, grab a beer, sit back on the lawnmower, go back out into the yard, hit the same bump going out of the yard. I'm like, God damn, these fucking bumps on my driveway. And then I'm driving around, and we have not a ditch, but like a, where it's runoff, drainage, out there by the road. And I was out there, and I thought I was safe. And I was, mowing at whatever 20-degree angle down this thing. I'm going to show you this picture for all those watching on YouTube as well. You can see this picture as well. This right here, Shane. Can you see that? That's what happens when you mow and get stuck in the mud. Now, you ask yourself, why am I showing you this?
Yes.
I am.
Why are you showing me this?
I got stuck in the mud, and so now I'm out. You know, my back issues, and I'm trying to push this zero turn, this 54-inch zero turn, out of the mud. I've got it in neutral. I'm trying to get it out. I'm sitting, spinning. I couldn't get it out. I'm too far away from the house to walk all the way up to the house to get someone to help me or get the side-by-side to hook it up to yank it out. I'm too far away from the house. So I'm like, well, someone will stop. Maybe. See me struggling out here by the road. Sure enough, a Chevy Silverado truck, jacked to the hilts, stops. 3 kids, probably 18 and 20 years old, jump out of the car to help this old guy push his damn lawnmower out of the goddamn ditch that I got stuck in. And, they're pushing, and they're kids, man. They don't understand. They're trying to push where the motor is. And I'm like, careful, dude. As soon as I said, careful, dude, that's hot, he put his hands right on. Ah!
Lost his fingerprints, didn't he?
Yeah, he can commit crimes now. But, they're trying to push me out, and I'm like going, all right, I'm going. And then I'd slide right back into the ditch again because they let me go too soon, and then they have to come back and push me again. I felt so worthless, man. I was so worthless. I get up, thanks, kids. There'll be an extra $1 in the mail for you. And they're like, no, sir. Thank you, sir. No problem. And they looked like they were on like a lacrosse team or something. They were young kids, from whatever high school or something, 3 white kids and this big jacked up Chevy Silverado with big old friggin' rims and stuff. So
I can imagine what they had to say about you when they pulled off.
No, they probably said we did a good deed today, and I helped them be a good deed.
Unfortunately, they didn't. Have you checked Instagram?
No, I haven't.
The video of the old guy trying to get his lawnmower out of the driveway is on Instagram.
And they play yakety sax in the background. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. So,
well, moral of the story is hire Jose. He'll come out and mow your lawn for you, and you don't have to do that anymore.
I don't trust Jose. I know Jose.
He's pretty good.
He works for you pretty good?
Yeah.
So, are you
pay him very much?
Are you drinking beer today or no?
I've got one. I have one beer that I've finished off.
So when you finish that, what are you going to have?
I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the store.
Just drink soda. Are you a soda drinker?
Bad for you. Soda's bad for you. Soda?
Yeah.
What is a soda?
I'm from Florida, so that's what we call them. We call them sodas.
Florida. No, they're all Cokes up here. And you're further south than we are.
Yeah. Do you like drinking soda?
Not really.
Why?
I don't know. It just...
Is it soda? I mean, do you have a certain brand? Like, hey, if I'm going to drink soda, this is what I'm going to have.
Yeah, it's usually like Dr. Whatever the wife buys. But every once in a while, I'll kind of venture off of my normal stuff.
What do you normally when you want that little dirty whore? Where do you go to?
No, I pick up the exotic Fanta every once in a while. I can't do that anymore though.
What, Fanta?
Yes. That stuff gives me some serious heartburn, indigestion, and makes my chest feel like it's going to explode.
Soda?
Is that something normal? I mean, it's just Fanta.
I know. Soda or just the Fanta brand itself?
Just the Fanta orange.
The Fanta orange is what kills you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's awkward or weird or does that happen to other people, but I mean, it's bad. Makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Well, you know how Fanta came to be.
No.
So during World War II,
here we go.
Here come the lies. During World War II, Coca-Cola couldn't get into Germany. And so they created a product called Fanta to get them to the U.S. soldiers. And they, bypassed whatever. And so Fanta was born during World War II to feed our servicemen in World War II. And they just stuck with it. It's the same shit, Orange Crush and Fanta, it's all the same.
That stuff's terrible. I mean, it tastes great, but I mean, I'm just curious if other people have that problem.
What do you think?
It's really, really. It's bad. I don't know if it's the citrus part of it, if it's some kind of special ingredient that they put in there to take the Germans out back in World War II. I don't know.
Just in case they accidentally get a hold of it. Dad, what is this stuff? Oh, Fanta. Oh, I Scott means I got a heartburn.
Sabotage drink.
It's sabotage. Yeah, exactly. We won. Victory, USA.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be the carbonation. Because I drink a ton of carbonate, beer's carbonated. But explain the Fanta to me. I don't know. I don't get it. Does that happen to you? Do you drink Fanta?
I rarely drink soda. I drink, I've got like a 24-ounce water sippy cup that I call it. I drink 3 of those in the morning. And then as soon as 12 o'clock hits, it's beer time. And then I have another 24-ounce water before I go to bed. I kind of stay
a healthy one.
Well, I mean, I don't want to drink sweet tea. I don't want to drink soda because it's just not there for me. But yeah, my dad drinks sweet tea all day long. He's from North Carolina. He's from Raleigh or the Raleigh area. And yeah, so sweet tea all day long. Can't do it.
You got to have sweet tea here. I mean, and you got to take it with you everywhere you go too, or you'll lose your Carolina card.
All right. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Murder and Coffee, the podcast that brings you a caffeine-fueled exploration of the darker side of human nature. In each episode, we delve into the shocking and sometimes gruesome world of true crime, sharing in-depth analysis of some of the most compelling cases in history. From notorious serial killers to unsolved mysteries, a fresh and thought-provoking perspective on some of the most chilling stories from around the globe. With every episode, we explore a new case, delving into the details and uncovering the motives behind some of the most notorious crimes in history. From serial killers and cults to unsolved mysteries and cold cases, we cover it all. But we don't just recount the facts of the case. We offer a fresh and unique perspective, analyzing the psychology of the perpetrators and the impact on the victims and their families. So, sit back, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and join us as we explore the darker side of humanity, one case at a time.
Shut your fucking mouths.
No kidding. Hold on a minute. I got to call her.
No, I'm kidding, Shane. I'm kidding.
I'm not, because that's all I hear is.
Oh, I'm out of breath. Shay, we were talking about my dad drinking sweet tea. He's from Raleigh, Fayetteville. Is Fayetteville near Raleigh?
Yeah.
Is it?
I hope so.
Sorry if we mislocated Fayetteville. But
Yeah,
he's from
that general area.
Yeah. So that's where he's from. And drinking sweet tea and stuff. The other night my wife made cheddar broccoli soup, like from Panera.
Ooh, yuck.
What do you mean yuck? That is awesome.
Soup. I hate soup.
You're not having the right soup.
I'm not having soup.
Now, why do you hate?
My wife loves soup.
Why do you hate?
Soup sucks.
How does soup suck? I can understand.
Who wants to eat liquid food?
What, Shane?
I'm sorry.
Shane?
I don't, somebody plops my dinner down in front of me and I can eat it with a straw or a spoon. No, I don't like soup.
In about 10 to 15 years, Shane, you're going to be praying for soup for food.
No. I'll get dentures.
Well, my dad's got dentures, so he's eating soup. Anyway, so my wife makes this soup, right? Broccoli, cheddar, whatever, from Panera. We found a recipe online, how to recreate it, and it turned out great. The thing that we have it in, my wife makes homemade bread. I know, when do we find the time to do all this stuff? It's a 4-ingredient bread. It's flour, it's yeast, it's warm water, and salt. That's all it is. And it is the best goddamn bread I've ever had. Like homemade style. It's not dry. It's nice and moist. It's got a nice texture to it. It's a good soup dipping bread. You know what I mean? Like you can pick stuff up with it. So she made these small little round bread bowls. You know, you peel the center out. You put the soup in the center of it, and then you use the whatever trimmings that you pulled out to dip it in the soup, and you eat the soup. And then when you get the soup down, you've got the bread bowl left over, and you could kind of mow on that, and because there's soup residue inside the bowl, and you know, so goes the story. So we give it to my dad. My dad, he's a simple man. Gave it to my dad. Ate the soup, right? Ate the soup out of the bowl, took the bowl, when he was done with it, threw it away.
Oh, no.
I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm done. I'm like, Dad, either eat the bowl or put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator. You can fill it up tomorrow with more soup. You know, that's what I said.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Why
No,
not?
because that soup has turned a solid food into liquid. That's why I hate soup.
You're so negative about that.
Soup is worthless. Anyway, go ahead. What did he do with his bowl?
He threw it away. Actually, he threw it outside for the chickens, and I was outside, and Cookie, our bulldog, our English bulldog's out there mowing on it, and I'm like, where's this soup bowl come from? Dad, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, he didn't waste it.
He didn't waste it, but I mean, I made 4 gallons of this broccoli cheddar soup, you know, for the week. Now what are you going to put it in? Well, now how are you going to dip it out? Even if you put it in a bowl.
Wait a minute. So you're going to continue to eat this soup through the week?
Yeah, we make a meal for the week. You know, it's Sunday night dinner, and then you have leftovers for, 3 or 4 days.
So you made one mistake by eating soup one time, then you're going to continue to do it through the rest of the week.
Well, a couple days. It didn't last that long. I ate it all. It was delicious. Hasn't Stephanie made...
He didn't waste it. Maybe he was full.
Yeah, but save the bread bowl for later or something.
Well, this is not the Depression. I mean, it's like, it's okay. We can get more bread.
No, but you don't understand, Shane. Yes, we can get more bread. My wife slaved over a hot oven making bread for the bowl and the soup to be all eaten as one big, huge meal.
So her feelings were hurt that your dad threw the bowl away. You didn't care, did you?
My feelings. My wife had no idea. I went outside and I go, who threw this bread bowl out here? She's like, I didn't do it. And I'm like going, well, I didn't throw mine away. Mine's still in the refrigerator for tomorrow's meal. And my dad goes in the back room, I threw it out there for the chickens. I'm like, okay. Dad, you're supposed to save it. And he literally looked at me, he goes, I don't know. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with it. Well, so there you have it. He threw his bread bowl out.
I think you're older than your dad.
I probably am, or more well-diverse than my dad. I will say that.
He sounds like a carefree spirit, and you sound like you're high-strung.
No, he's total backwoods. He's backwoods, man. I've seen the big lights. I've seen the big cities. He's still living in Fayetteville, on the tobacco farm that he grew up on.
Well, let him enjoy life. If he throws away a bread bowl,
and here's the thing. My mom was born in Albany, New York, and so she's got that New York lifestyle. And she married my dad. Now, she definitely married down with my dad because I remember growing up, the looks that my mom would give my dad when we had like family dinners, like Easter that's coming up, we'd have a big dinner and my dad would just say the most backwoodsest thing. And my mom would sit there and give him the shittiest, dirtiest looks like, oh my God, what are you doing at this table? We'd have ham and everything. My dad goes, hey, you got any horseradish for this ham? And everyone would go, horseradish for the ham? Now, I understand it now. But, I mean, when you're at a guest's house, you don't ask for stuff that's not on the table. You know what I mean?
So far, I'm not finding a problem with what you're telling me.
But doesn't the chicken taste
This
better
sounds
when
like
it's
home.
on the bone? That's twice. That's twice. I got to remember that's in there. That's twice since that happened.
Keep your fingers off the buttons.
Sorry. But doesn't it taste better on the bone? So my mom, I know, married down. And as I grew up and learned how demonstrative my mom was, or dominating my mom was, and the way she treated my dad, I realized that she wanted to have control over him. Now, granted, he had his say in a couple things and stuff, but she married down. I don't know if it was her personality, but she had control over my dad. Now, in your opinion, do you feel with Stephanie, you guys, what'd you say, 30 years you've been together? Do you feel that the two of you, are you married even? Did you marry up? Did you marry down?
Well, I married way down.
Her marrying you, or you marrying her?
No, I married way up. She's smarter than me. She makes, but see, she's not from here.
Where's she from?
She's from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is Oklahoma
pretty good?
Where are you from?
Here.
So
I am from Charlotte,
are you saying
North Carolina? I'm walking around screaming for horseradish and tea.
I was going to say, so you say that the people from Oklahoma are higher class than the people from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, I mean, I don't want to necessarily say higher class, but here's what I've noticed about people from the Midwest. We'll just call it. They're all college educated,
Which is good.
So yeah. But some of them, not everybody. Don't want to offend everybody out there, but
That's okay. They're not listening to us out there in Oklahoma yet.
That's true. So you can have a college education, but most of the time you have to tell those people to come in because it's raining outside. So there's no common sense. And that's the biggest dynamic between me and my wife. I've got all the common sense. She's got all the book smarts. So it's a big clash because some of the stuff this woman does and says.
We stick together because opposites attract. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I really, we did marry even.
That was my Paula Abdul dance, by the way.
Well, it sucked. Don't do that again.
All right.
She's not paying you any money.
What were you saying?
But yeah, maybe it's more of an even. Did you marry up or down?
So I was offended when my dad first moved into the house here. I invited his brother and his sister to come up to North Carolina to see where their big brother is going to be living. And his brother's wife, my aunt, her name's Diane, saw the property, saw the house, saw everything. And she said two things while she was here. And she has no manners. She's from Bithlo. If you know where Bithlo, Florida is, Jesus Christ. Osteen, Florida, it's just friggin', it's a shithole. She said at the, our kitchen and stuff, and she said, how did she put it? She said, she's like, first of all, I can't believe Travis is married. I said, okay. Yeah, exactly. I said, okay, well, that starts the wound. And then she jumped right in and gashed it and said, and you've definitely married up. And I said, now this is the first time she's ever met my wife. And I said, well, I said, well, that's very rude. What do you mean by that? Well, she's like, look around, thinking that I had nothing to do with, all the horses that we have here on the property, all the chickens, all the animals, the life, the house, the property, all the stuff that we got going on here. She thought I had absolutely nothing to do with that. And I said, well, that was very rude of you to say. And she said,
it's a good thing that she wasn't at my house because she would be speaking the truth. I don't have shit to do with what's going on over here.
Well, and then I was like going, well, I think in the back of my mind, I go, well, you're not eating dinner here tonight. You don't like what's going on. And I said to her, how do you know I married up? I said, do you know anything about my wife? Do you know anything at all about her? How do you know she wasn't locked up in a prison camp and she was homeless and starving and I saved her ass?
Yeah.
And she
Boy,
said,
it sounds like she really pissed you off. I'd have fed her that bread bowl that was sitting out in the chicken coop your dad threw out
I
there.
wish I would let it sit out there and get nice and hard and made a nice little dent in her head. And, you know, I said that. She kind of smirked and said, kind of thought I did say that. And I said, well, that's fucked up. That's fucked up that you said that. Now, we don't get into family arguments. We don't get into arguments because I'm right. When it comes to family members and other family members, I am right at all times. Because they're all ding dongs.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, in my
I don't
world.
argue with that kind of stuff. I just don't. It's not worth it.
Well, needless to say, they went on about their day, and she apologized later on. She's like, I'm sorry, that it came out wrong. I said, well, there's a lot of things that are going to come out wrong. As soon as I get a couple more of these in me, you're going to find out.
Did she get into your beer before she started talking to you?
No, none of them drink. None of them drink. They're all recovering alcoholics, except for my dad. My dad's still 5:30 in the morning. He's out here having a beer.
Well, there's your problem.
I know. All right, guys, we're going to take a.
Alcoholics are mean and nasty.
I know, because they're pissed off at the world that they can't numb the pain. I
Drink?
guess. Well, drink and numb the pain. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back.
I have a request. Some outro music. I would like some Primus on one podcast. Whenever you feel like it, I'd like some Primus.
What song? Any song?
Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Winona. Okay.
Still hear the hens cackling.
Have you texted her yet and said stop cackling down there?
5 times and said you're using your outside voice.
What'd she say?
She goes, "No, I'm not." Well, then I guess that just settles it.
I'm sorry.
You said you're not, so I'll just shut up.
Done stamp on that.
Yeah. Well, I will continue to. Hey, but here's the thing. We've got evidence.
Yes.
She goes back to listen to this. She's gonna hear it.
What's all that noise about? Who are those? Who are those old ladies downstairs?
Yeah. So chew on that bread bowl.
When you text her at the end of it, do you have like a little sign off thing like love you? I call my wife Schmoopy. It's a Seinfeld thing. Do you do like I was texting someone the other day, and it was old friend of mine, and at the end of the text they said, you see you later, talk to you later, and I said okay, and then I did XOXO, and I was like, I thought to myself, I'm like, does anyone do XOXO anymore? Or do people know what XOXO means?
No. Well, they might know what it means, but it's all been replaced by emojis now.
Now, in your opinion, what does XOXO mean?
It's hugs and kisses.
Right. So, I mean, emojis, for
Is
the
this a male friend?
it's a
see? Okay.
Bud Light drinker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we caught you. Bud Light drinker.
Yeah. But
yes, that's XOs. XOs is hugs and kisses.
But I mean, at one time we were doing what the colon, semicolon, and then the outside, the end bracket. For smiley face, smiley winky face.
Because we didn't have the emojis. You'd have to do you'd have to do a 3 and then the greater or less than sign. I get those two confused to make the heart. You remember that?
Yes.
And then you can do the semicolon, period, semicolon, then semicolon, or no.
I just think that the kids today would, if you put XOXO on a text message to someone, they would go
freak them out.
Yeah, they were like going, "What is this? What are we playing? Tic-tac-toe or something?"
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. Like I said, the only thing I can figure out is emojis have replaced it, but just be careful who you're sending this stuff to.
Why? You know what it is? It's the girl from the chick days. I was texting her XOXO because she was hitting on me.
Chick days.
No, I'm kidding.
I forgot about her.
Yeah, I'm no.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
She made you feel good though, didn't she?
Oh yeah. She made me feel real good.
Yeah, well, I had the same thing happen to me.
What?
Yeah, because see, I was listening to you tell me all this stuff, and I'm getting jealous. And I'm like, nobody's doing any of that to me, but it happened.
What do you mean, hit on you?
But it happened in Shayne style.
So you're saying you're saying a girl? Was it a girl or a guy? I'm flattered either way.
It was. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, they've always said, hold on one sec. In the gay community, they always say, if a girl says you're ugly, this is a very good friend of mine who's gay, who I was texting. If a girl says you're ugly, there's probably another girl out there that thinks you're beautiful. If a gay guy says you're ugly, you are ugly.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, makes sense. Really, whatever. But anyway, I was going to PetSmart. It's time to get the dog some food. So it's a little dachshund. I take her with me, and I get in. I go in there, get the food. We roam around for a little bit, get her a bone to chew on. So I'm standing in line. There's a big long line. So here comes this girl to open up another register. I thought, great.
Girl or woman?
Girl.
Girl, when you say girl, what age does a girl max out at?
Biologically?
No. I mean, like when you see, if you see two females standing next to each other, if one is under 30, do you say girl, and over 30 say woman?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Under 30, I say girl.
Okay.
So she's probably early 20s. So, she goes and opens up the register, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to get in here. Well, two other people ran in front of me and got in the line, but I went over to that one anyway. So while they're checking out, she keeps looking up at me.
What'd she look like? What did she look like?
So, when you get to be 50, your standards start to drop a little bit,
I could do that if I wanted to.
So, I can't think of any, I can't think of any celebrity offhand that every guy would think is hot.
Well, short hair.
Sharon Osbourne. But she was pretty.
Hold on. Did you say she looked like Sharon Osbourne?
Yeah, that was random.
Oh, okay.
No, she does not look like Sharon Osbourne.
Like, Jesus. No wonder you married up.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm standing there watching. She's looking over at me, and she's kind of cutting those eyes, and she'd smile a little bit, and I'm thinking, okay, she's looking at the dog. Yeah, here I am in PetSmart.
Right.
She's looking at the dog. Anyway, so, with the girls that were, giving you the eyes, you never actually got to talk to them, but I'm like, I'm going to get to talk to this one.
That's how you, Shane, that's how you get in trouble.
Oh, no. I'm not going to. This would just be for ego purposes. Just to let me walk out of the store and feel a little bit better about myself. So she keeps looking. She's checking these other people out. She's looking, smiling. I'm, okay, I feel a little bit better. Maybe I've still got it. And then
I
can't hear her.
I got this one on the line. I've got to reel this one in.
Yeah. So I get up to and I haven't been able to hear her or anything. She's been talking to the other people, and and then I'm going, okay, let's see what happens here. And I get up and I put this bag of food on the counter, and she goes, well, how was your day today here? Damn it.
What's wrong? She doesn't have a tongue?
I was like, what is wrong with this girl? How are you today here? And damn it, I had one on the hotline, had one on the hook here, and she turned out to be Sloth from the Goonies.
No, Sloth from the Goonies is ugly. So was she deaf?
Yes, she talked. I don't know what was wrong with her. I don't know. But I'm just sitting there thinking, okay, the one time in the past 30 years that, anyone's females even look my way.
Yeah, anyone who's batted their eyes at you.
Yeah, and go, okay, well, this is what I get. So I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense.
She probably felt sorry for you, Shane. She probably thought you were on her level.
Well, I felt more sorry for her. So, of course, I'm getting ready to walk out the door, and she goes, you have a beautiful wiener.
Beautiful wiener?
Beautiful wiener. Talking about the dog.
Right.
Sorry, sweetheart. I'm fresh out of Baby Ruth, so I don't have anything. So it was the biggest letdown. I got built up thinking that, okay, here's this young, cute girl looking and thinking, okay.
Well, Shane, I'm very disappointed in you. I really am. That you would be so shallow to not get that girl's phone number just because of the way she spoke.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I am so disappointed in you that you would judge someone based on their audible conversation with you.
Travis, I mean, that's the kind of shit that happens to me. And it's like, okay, here's the little carrot. I'm going to dangle the carrot in front of you. Then the carrot's rotten
On one side.
Yeah. And it just disappoints.
So you're saying this girl, because of her disability, she's a rotten carrot?
I don't know that she had a disability. I just think that was just her normal voice. And maybe there was some, things loose upstairs or something. I don't know.
Some things weren't firing off right up there in the old cockpit.
Yeah. So it was just such a big disappointment. Like, okay,
Shane,
you throw you a bone here.
You should have been the sweetest, nicest person to her, and you might have got a handy out of it.
No, that's not what I was looking for. This was just a little self-esteem
I know. But yeah. So you got to start small. Get the retards to like you, and then work your way up.
Mission accomplished. Got that done.
Well, that's good. No, a win's a win, right? A win is a win.
Yeah, I mean, if you've only got $5 looking for a hooker, I guess a win's a win. God, I don't know. I walked out there with my head down again. I was like, oh, what's the point?
Was there a gun store next door?
Yeah. But, it is what it is. Once you get to be kind of fat and 50, any little thing, to help you, like you were saying, help boost your self-esteem.
Yeah, give you a little pep in your step. That's a deal.
Yeah, well, got the wind let out of my sails.
I'm sorry. What else you got going on? Anything?
Raining. You're raining where you're at?
Yeah. Rain where I'm at. You got the sun on your side of the state. I got the sun out on my side of the state.
Your turn for a checker move.
B4 to L7.
No, it's raining, so we don't ever get out of the house when it's raining. But I do have to go get some more beer.
All right. Well, I won't keep you from it.
Yes, you will.